To news at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Students attending Montgomery County High School and McNabb Middle School in Montgomery County can no longer bring backpacks to schools. In a post on social media, the district says it was in the interest of school safety. As part of the policy, students can bring a small satchel or fanny pack, but purses and drawstring backpacks will not be allowed. One person is dead after a crash in Lincoln County. It happened Saturday when a man who was driving on Kentucky 300 went off the road and into a pond. The coroner has identified the man as 40-year-old Nathan Fraley. The coroner says the truck Fraley was driving went off the road and down a steep embankment before turning over into a farm pond. Sentencing is delayed again for the man accused of killing a Scott County deputy. Stephen Shing pleaded guilty to burglary in Kenton County in April. He is accused of shooting Deputy Caleb Conley during a traffic stop the following month. Police say he then went on a crime spree through Lexington. Shing was supposed to be sentenced for the burglary today, but that has been delayed until October 8th. His charges in Fayette and Scott counties are still pending. A jury in Colorado has returned a verdict against the man accused of a deadly mass shooting at a grocery store in Boulder. The jury found the gunman, Ahmad Aliwi Alyssa, guilty of murdering 10 people at a King Soopers grocery store. The attack happened in March of 2021. Defense attorneys did not dispute that the 25-year-old Alyssa carried out the shooting, but they argued he should be found innocent by reason of insanity. The jury rejected that claim. 2 people died and 5 were injured after a mobile home collapsed on a family in Brazoria County, Texas yesterday. Several people were working to level the manufactured home when it collapsed, trapping them. 5 people were rescued. First responders used a chainsaw to cut through the floor to get to one of them. 4 were taken by helicopter to Houston area hospitals in critical condition. Another was taken by hospital by ambulance and is in stable condition. 2 people were injured after a shooting near an elementary school in Kansas. According to our sister station out of Wichita, one of the 2 people hurt is in critical condition. Following the incident, Cessna Elementary was placed on lockdown. According to a secretary with the school, the shooting did not involve the school and students are safe. A former sheriff's deputy in Florida has found himself on the other side of the law. Leslie Boileau is accused of killing his girlfriend last week at a home in Ocala. Boileau says the shooting was an accident. He says the 2 were cleaning and handling some guns in the house when one of the weapons discharged. Boileau's girlfriend suffered a gunshot wound to the forehead and later died. 4 people are dead and at least 17 others hurt after a shooting in Alabama. That shooting happened at a popular entertainment district in Birmingham. It's one of several shootings that the city of Birmingham has had this year. Police say approximately 100 shell casings were recovered. Birmingham Police Chief Scott Thurman says authorities believe the shooting targeted one of the people who was killed, possibly in a murder for hire. Today, a federal judge in Florida ordered the suspect in an apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump to remain in custody until his trial. Ryan Wesley Routh was arrested earlier this month after he fled Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach. In a new Justice Department court filing, the FBI said a fingerprint found on a piece of tape attached to the rifle recovered from the golf course preliminarily matches Routh.
He identified a threat, an individual with a long gun, and he made swift decisions and took a swift action to be able to mitigate that. No shot was fired at the former president.
The suspect is currently facing 2 federal firearms offenses, but prosecutors indicate they will ask a grand jury to seek a charge of attempted assassination of a political figure. Violent crime declined 3% throughout the U.S. from 2022 to 23. New data from the FBI shows a dramatic drop in the number of murders, down nearly 12%. Of other crimes, rapes decreased by more than 9%, while reported hate crimes decreased by less than 1%. However, the number of reported vehicle thefts increased nearly 13%. The report used statistics from 16,000 law enforcement agencies throughout the country.
Well, we had a nice amount of rain push through eastern Kentucky, and that trend still continues as we go throughout the 5:30 time frame. Here's the latest outside. Looking at Hazard, you can see a little bit of cloud cover out there with temperatures in the 70s and 80s, low to mid 80s from Moorhead down to Irvine, down to Somerset, upper 70s towards London, 79 in Harlan as well as Jonesville. Look at Wise, 68 degrees. Pikeville is still at 84. Prestonsburg is at 85. There's live pinpoint Doppler radar right now, and you can see the scattered showers and thunderstorms still continue across the area. Next 12 hours keeps the rain chances in play. We'll drop to 78 by the 8 o'clock hour. By 10 o'clock, we'll go to 74, then upper 60s and low 70s. As we go throughout the overnight hours, we will get a break in that rain. When you wake up in the morning, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Now the question is, how long will the rain chances last? I'll have that answer in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. Former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are focusing on foreign policy today, but it will be local politics that decides this race, and two states, North Carolina and Pennsylvania, are getting a lot of attention this week. CBS's Skylar Henry has more on that from the White House.
Former President Donald Trump visited a farm just south of Pittsburgh to talk about competition from China.
China is supposed to buy $50 billion worth of our product, and they are not living up to it.
Vice President Kamala Harris was also focused on foreign relations, meeting with the president of the United Arab Emirates at the White House Monday. She scheduled a campaign in Pittsburgh Wednesday, underscoring the importance of the Keystone State in this year's election. The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows the race a dead heat in Pennsylvania. The Trump campaign is also making a push in North Carolina. The former president rallied there Saturday, and his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, has two stops in the Tar Heel State Monday. The state's governor's race was thrown into chaos when a CNN report linked the Republican candidate, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, to inflammatory comments made on a porn site more than a decade ago. Sunday night, most of Robinson's senior staff resigned.
A lot of talented people right now are reaching out to us, and we're right in the process right now of forming a team that we know can still lead us to victory. So we have full confidence in our ability to keep going.
Robinson was not at Trump's weekend rally and is not expected at Vance's events. The CBS News Battleground Tracker shows Harris has opened up a slight lead within the margin of error in North Carolina. The poll was conducted before the revelations about Robinson. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
CBS News has learned J.D. Vance has been using Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer as a stand-in for Governor Tim Walz as he prepares to debate the Democratic vice presidential candidate next Tuesday. CBS News is hosting that debate with live coverage moderated by Nora O'Donnell and Margaret Brennan. One of the few times Melania Trump appeared at a political event this year, she was paid a six-figure check. According to Donald Trump's latest financial disclosure form, Melania was paid $237,500 to speak at a log cabin Republicans event in April. However, it's a mystery who actually cut the check. The president of the conservative LGBTQ group says the money did not come from the organization. Melania also spoke to log cabin Republicans in July. The White House has announced new initiatives aimed at supporting auto workers, particularly in the key battleground state of Michigan. Michigan was a crucial state in President Biden's 2020 victory. The initiatives include $1 billion in financing for small and medium-sized auto suppliers. There's also a pilot program to train workers in the state's most populous county for jobs in the automobile supply chain.